One of the things that really gets photographers and filmmakers excited and geek out about is when the topic of gear comes up. And in this course, I really want to focus on the fundamentals of stability, smoothness, and sound. The gear that will give you high quality results. Obviously, if you've got the means and the tripod, and you've got a slider, in this case, this is an Edelchrome slider. I've attached a heavy weight to the tripod down here. That's going to give you the highest quality, stable shot of every time, is because of the mass of the tripod, the smoothness of the gears inside that slider, produce really smooth motion shots. But most of the time when we're filming, we want steady shots. So you can miniaturize a lot of that with smartphone photography and cinematography with small, lightweight rigs like this, using modular systems that use Arca Swiss plates. And Arca Swiss plate is a quick release mounting system. So it's got a standardized size for the plates and the mounting plates. So when you have multiple pieces of gear, you can substitute them very quickly to make different setups. So that's one of the other exciting things, is because that is so much more versatile as a stable tripod, as a handheld device, as a selfie stick. Yeah, it's so much better than your normal selfie stick. So just toss that out and make the investment in stability with the gear list that I put on my website. So I'm always updating that. It's robbmontgomery.com/gear. And that's where you'll see that you can start off with very simple, low-cost gear. Like here's a Manfrotto Pixie. It has a ball mount head, shoulder pod or 7-oak grip. Those use that gives you the standard photo mount connections, and that's what you're looking for. Arca Swiss plate, standard photo mount connections, cold shoe plates, which will allow you to either attach a light or microphone. Let me just reach down here for a microphone. Here's a nice video micro from Robb. I can put that right here into what's called the cold shoe on top. And with the correct adapter cables, again, robbmontgomery.com/gear, you'll find all that. Now I can have, in a very lightweight, small package, upgraded the stability and the sound of whatever it is I'm filming. And then if I want to disassemble that tripod and put it onto a different type of mount, maybe I like this kind of underslung grip mount, you can just swap the parts out and experiment and get comfortable with different types of steady shots and smooth shots. So maybe I can get a smoother shot using this, because maybe I can get lower to the ground of the skateboarder. I can get the angle and the position of the camera better. So that's what I encourage you to do. Whenever you're looking at gear, look for it's like, what problem is that going to solve for me? Maybe you want really smooth tracking or trucking shot. Maybe you want something in miniature. This is called, a Pico dolly. So it uses skateboard wheels. I've put some shoulder pod parts here. And now I can just mount the camera or the smartphone up in here. And I can pull it with these wires forward and backward across a smooth surface and get some really smooth shots. This doesn't cost that much money. And once you make the investment in this modular approach to stability and smoothness and sound, you'll find that there are really creative possibilities. Of course, everyone likes to think, the only way to do smooth motion shots is with a gimbal. That's why I like to show you some of these other ways, that we've used traditionally in filmmaking. And so gimbals, of course, are good. They give you really smooth handheld shots. You can press the trigger like on this Osmo 2, and whatever hand movement I have here is isolated, or I can have a nice smooth sweep and then lock it back. So this makes it feel like it's on a tripod. And you see I've also attached on the side here cold shoe mount. Again, this is the Osmo Mobile 2, my favorite one to use with a smartphone. You can probably find them on the secondhand market, because then you can attach, microphone to the side, And it's got rechargeable batteries, so you can have multiple batteries, so you can have longer shooting time. So those are the things I look for in a gimbal for a smartphone, especially if I'm going to be worried about sound. I'm definitely going to want to use an iPhone 6s Plus because I still have the ability to plug in a microphone. So sometimes the older model of iPhones are great to solve certain problems. And this one, of course, can still film in 4K video. It still looks great. Now, when you want really high quality gimbal shots, I still recommend the original Osmo Mobile because this one does things with better integration of the camera and the gimbal are all together here. And I can attach neutral density filter right on here to get a slower shutter speed. I can use any phone here, even an Android phone, to control it. I have much greater dynamic range. I have at least one more stop of light. So I'll use this for night filming. Let me show you an example of that. That's why I would choose something like this. Take a look at the next few tutorials where I'll show you how some of these setups work in the field. And don't forget to go to robbmontgomery.com/gear for the details about the kit that's used.